For more than 2 decades, Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones have represented a particular kind of Hollywood ideal: elegance, talent, and enduring love displayed beneath flashing cameras and red carpet lights. To the public, their marriage appeared polished and resilient, a union that survived fame, scrutiny, and time. Yet like many long partnerships, especially those lived in the spotlight, their story has always been more layered than photographs suggest. Michael has often spoken about how public images can flatten real lives, turning complex human experiences into simplified narratives. Behind the glamour existed ordinary challenges: fear, aging, pressure, and growth that rarely make headlines. Their relationship was never just a fairy tale or a performance. It was a long, evolving bond shaped by love, responsibility, and circumstance. Understanding their journey requires stepping away from spectacle and listening instead to the quieter truths that emerge with time, reflection, and emotional honesty. A man at a crossroads. By the late 1990s, Michael Douglas had achieved nearly everything an actor could want. Yet personally, he felt unsettled. In his mid-50s, recovering from back surgery and reflecting on earlier struggles, he found himself reassessing what fulfillment really meant. Being the son of Kirk Douglas carried pride but also pressure, and success never fully silenced his private doubts. It was during this reflective period that he encountered Catherine Zeta-Jones on screen, struck not just by her beauty but by her vitality and confidence. She represented possibility at a time when he feared decline. Their meeting later that year was imperfect and human, awkward even, but meaningful. It reminded Michael that connection is not guaranteed by status or charm. Love, he would later suggest, arrives when vulnerability meets timing. That early encounter planted the seed for a relationship that would change both of their lives in ways neither could foresee. Early love and shared momentum. As their relationship grew, it unfolded with a blend of excitement and intention. Despite an age difference that drew attention, Michael and Catherine found common ground in ambition, humor, and a desire for stability. Their bond deepened quickly, and with it came the decision to build a family. The birth of their son, followed by marriage, symbolized more than romance. It marked commitment and hope. To the outside world, their wedding appeared like a cinematic moment, but privately it carried the weight of responsibility and promise. Michael has often reflected on how becoming a father later in life sharpened his awareness of time and purpose. Catherine, equally committed, balanced love with a rising career. In those early years, their partnership felt aligned, driven by mutual support and shared goals. Yet even then, subtle differences in pace and energy quietly existed, waiting for life to test them. Fame, balance, and quiet insecurities. As Catherine's career accelerated, marked by critical acclaim and awards, Michael experienced pride mixed with introspection. Watching a partner thrive can inspire, but it can also awaken insecurity, especially when age and health become more present realities. Michael has acknowledged that these feelings were not rooted in jealousy, but in awareness of time passing, of limitations approaching. Their marriage functioned within 2 demanding worlds: Hollywood and parenthood. Maintaining balance required constant adjustment. Catherine carried immense professional momentum, while Michael increasingly measured his life through family and health. These differences did not weaken their love, but they added complexity. Like many couples navigating unequal rhythms, they learned that harmony does not mean sameness. The challenge lay in honoring individual growth while protecting shared ground. This period laid the emotional groundwork for trials neither of them yet understood, proving that even strong foundations are tested by life's unpredictable turns: time, distance, and reassessment. As years passed, the natural effects of aging became more visible. Michael, older and more cautious, embraced a slower rhythm, while Catherine sought renewed creative energy. These differences were not conflicts, but realities, ones many long-term couples eventually face. Periods of physical distance and introspection allowed both to reassess priorities without public spectacle. Michael has described these moments not as rupture, but as recalibration. Marriage, he suggests, is not a fixed state, but an evolving agreement. Parenthood remained their shared anchor, grounding decisions beyond personal desire. During this phase, discretion mattered. Rather than dramatic statements, they chose privacy and respect. Growth required space, reflection, and patience. Their experience challenges the notion that love must always look the same to remain real. Sometimes, stepping back is not abandonment, but an attempt to understand what togetherness should mean moving forward. Choosing continuity over illusion. When Michael and Catherine recommitted to their shared life, it was not about restoring an idealized past. Instead, it was about choosing continuity with honesty. They returned to familiar ground carrying new awareness of limits, of gratitude, of effort required. Michael has emphasized that long marriages endure not because they are effortless, but because partners repeatedly choose understanding over ego. Their renewed partnership reflected maturity rather than fantasy. Public appearances resumed, but with quieter intention. The emphasis shifted toward family stability and mutual respect. This stage of their relationship lacked spectacle, yet carried depth. It acknowledged that love after hardship is different, less naive, more deliberate. Rather than denying change, they learned to accommodate it. In doing so, they modeled a version of commitment that values realism over perfection, suggesting that lasting bonds are sustained not by avoiding difficulty, but by meeting it with compassion and adaptability. Aging, acceptance, and honest reflection. Reaching later, life brought Michael Douglas to a place of reflection shaped by decades of experience. Aging clarified truths that ambition once obscured. He has spoken candidly about recognizing his physical limits and the humility required to accept help. Love, he believes, matures alongside awareness. For Catherine, continuing personal growth remained essential, not as rejection of partnership, but as affirmation of self. Michael's reflections emphasize gratitude rather than regret. Gratitude for shared history, for children, for endurance. He acknowledges that love does not erase imbalance, but it can coexist with it. The honesty he expresses now is not confessional, but reflective. It invites empathy rather than judgment. Their story illustrates how aging reframes priorities, shifting focus from achievement to presence. In embracing this stage, Michael underscores that dignity lies not in denial of change, but in accepting it with grace and respect for those we love. Privacy as an act of care. In recent years, Michael and Catherine have chosen to guard their private life carefully, resisting narratives imposed from outside. This discretion reflects maturity rather than secrecy. Public curiosity often seeks conclusions, but real relationships rarely offer clean endings. Michael has emphasized that shared history does not vanish when dynamics shift. Family, memory, and mutual care endure beyond labels. By maintaining privacy, they protect not only themselves, but their children and the emotional truth of their journey. Their approach challenges a culture that demands constant disclosure. Some stories, they suggest, deserve quiet stewardship. Rather than framing evolution as failure, they model respect for complexity. This choice reinforces an important truth. Love can transform without disappearing. In honoring privacy, they assert agency over their narrative, reminding the world that not all meaningful chapters are meant for public interpretation or judgment. A legacy beyond appearances. The marriage of Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones leaves a legacy richer than glamour. It reflects resilience through illness, adaptation through change, and honesty through time. Their story resists simplification, inviting a deeper understanding of partnership as a living process. Love, in their experience, is neither constant nor fragile. It is responsive. It bends, strengthens, and sometimes redefines itself. Michael's later reflections do not diminish what they shared. They contextualize it. By acknowledging limits without bitterness, he offers a model of emotional maturity rarely visible in public narratives. Their journey underscores that enduring love is not measured by perfection, but by presence, accountability, and care. In stepping away from illusion, they leave behind something more valuable. A reminder that human connection, in all its complexity, is worthy even when it does not fit a fairy tale frame. Love, truth, and human complexity. Ultimately, the story of Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones is about humanity more than celebrity. It reveals how love evolves under pressure, how sacrifice leaves marks, and how honesty deepens with age. Their journey affirms that relationships are shaped not only by affection, but by circumstance, health, timing, and growth. Michael's willingness to reflect openly offers insight without accusation, gratitude without denial. It acknowledges that love's strength is tested not by ease, but by endurance. Their story encourages compassion toward long partnerships that change form rather than disappear. In embracing truth over image, they remind us that complexity does not diminish love, it defines it. What remains is respect, shared history, and the understanding that meaningful connection does not require perfection, only sincerity. In that sense, their legacy is not one of loss, but of deeply lived experience.